Alright, so the very far left of the board, our far left flank, by the end of our second round, the Spear Elves just really couldn't hang with the Seekers anymore, so they got broken. Not run down yet, but this is our turn, so on his turn, he just has to declare a charge, and we'll go running off the board. Combat here, yeah, I mean, we were able to hold that first round, but this second round, we just couldn't do anything. This time, nobody was able to attack the Herald, so I don't think I did any wounds to him. I maybe did one. He easily broke my guys, and that's why I don't carry a standard in this unit normally, is because all it takes is being broken in combat once, and you lose, um, you lose a whole model, 55-point model. So, yeah, not overly worried about that. This one, yeah, I just got smacked silly. It wasn't even close. This guy, I think he had 6 attacks, and he got to re-roll his to hit. So he hit all 6, and then he was wounding on 2s. I think he had 5 wounds go through, and it was strength 6, armor piercing. So my guy only has a 3-up armor save, so I get no armor save. Went straight to ward save. 5 wounds went through, and yeah, that was an exercise of futility. I pride myself in this guy being able to take out the big nasties, but this guy is a little too big and nasty. So here in the middle of the board, after combat, really it's just a push. There's a lot of Marauders that died, but he's going to be able to. He has a pretty decent chance to get his Demonettes into that battle if he wants to. His Demonettes could probably charge my Grail Knights if he goes that way. With the combat res of the men-at-arms, they made short work of whatever that thing was that charged the archers, so these guys just did a reform. On my turn, the Knights Errant charged the chariot again and lost one guy and otherwise beat him. I knew he'd run off the board, so I just reformed. And here at the far right, yeah, Swordmasters chopped up those Warriors of Chaos like they were nothing, and he's just going to charge in on our next turn, and those Nurgle Warriors of Chaos are just hanging out with this High Elf Prince, unable to kill him, unable to break him, just standing there. So overview of the board as it sits at the end of good guys turn 2, and we go to bad guys turn 3. So yeah, really nothing happening here. He's not a whole lot he can do. His Demonettes do go on the side of that High Elf Spearman unit, so they're going to make short work of them. The big nasty Demon Lord comes into the flank of my Grail Knight unit, and that's actually a pretty good matchup for me, because one, every guy in that unit can accept a challenge, so he's never going to kill more than one guy a turn, and my Prophetess has the Crown of Command, and the Battle Standard Bearer is nearby, so I'm going to be Stubborn 8 rerollable for as long as I need to be. So this guy's going to come in. He's going to kill one guy a turn and get, likely 5 overkill. So he's going to have 6 every turn, but my guys are going to stick around, and so that's actually not too bad. These guys he killed the archers. Now they're coming to threaten this trebuchet. This is kind of looking towards the left side of the board. So the Seekers on the far left chase the Spear Elves off the table, and they're just sitting there. The other Demonettes they're the ones that kind of hung around over there to help with the Spear Elves, and then as soon as they realized they weren't needed, now they're trying to make it over to the main battle, but they've got a long way to go. Bad guys turn 3, yeah. I think he's lost a character. I think his Battle Standard Bearer is still alive. He might have lost, easily a champion. It looks like his spellcaster's still alive in there. I don't know. So at the end of this, yeah, so the Spear Elves got beaten. The Overran took the Demonettes into the Grail Knight unit and took the Marauders into the Knight of the Realm unit. And as bad as that looks, I'm really still not too worried about it. The General's only going to kill one Grail Knight. My concern is, how many do the Demonettes kill? They don't have a Herald anymore, so that's nice. And if they do, they lost them this round of combat. But yeah, there's just enough attacks there that that's my only fear, is them killing too many Grail Knights. Now, with my Knight of the Realm unit, I'm going to be okay there. I've got so much static combat res. I'm not going to lose too many guys. My men-at-arms will come support me pretty soon. So, good guys, turn 3. This is the far left of the board. If you look at the upper left, We'll get a close-up picture of it later, but there's a lot of charges going on up there. Oh, here they are. So the White Lions are to the flank of that unit. The Swordmasters come to the front, and he's yeah. I think the High Elves are favored in that battle. My Pegasus Knights charge his fast cav. Here in the middle, my Men-at-Arms charging the flank of the Marauders. The White Lion Chariot just comes around to give himself some options. He can charge that general in the flank if I need to, or maybe somebody else. We park an Eagle in the front of that Knight unit. Park another Eagle in front of this Demonette unit, just trying to slow his units down. Yeah. Now that's the view I like, because that means that if and when we beat this unit, our guys are going straight towards the Demonettes. And my best chance of getting rid of his general is through combat res. Knights Errant charge this caster in the tower. Trebuchet blows itself up. This is the Trebuchet on the right-hand side. My other Treb got killed last turn. And so at the end of the first combat, my Men-at-Arms are into the side of this Demonette unit. And that is just, that's huge. It's 3 ranks of flank, a charge that otherwise I wouldn't have had. And he's going to get some wound on my guys. I might get some wounds on him, but for the most part, that gives me a good opportunity to get some combat res as the only way of really killing his general. So at the end of it, yeah, his general killed the guy we thought he would. The Demonettes killed another Grail Knight. But, you know, when all was said and done, we won combat by a couple, and then again, he had some real bad instability rules, so his general's sitting there on 3 wounds. Now, another thing is, in a challenge, he gets to regrow wounds through wounds that he does in combat. Well, when he kills a guy, that's 1 wound. Overkill doesn't go towards that. That's the way the demon player understands it, and that makes sense to me as well. So it's not like he can regrow all those wounds. He's likely only going to get 1 back. So, yeah, so my guys charge in here. They have to dismount. 5 guys are fighting his 1 guy. He kills 1 of mine. I don't kill him and get pushed out. I'm thinking, wow. Okay, yeah. Knights, it gets a single guy in a building. Even then, that just doesn't work. Here on the right side of the board, the High Elves made very short work of that Warrior Chaos unit, so now they're rushing to the middle of the field. Bad guys turn 4. This is the middle of the table. You can see he charges the Archer. Whatever those things are, charge my Trebuchet. Yeah, my guys are not going to last long there. Still locked in combat here. Knights charge the Eagle, and that's just fine. There in the middle, those Demonettes made short work of the Eagle, and then I think they went to chase him down, and that's why they kind of stuck in front of that piece of impassable terrain. And this worked out very nicely. I think there's 1 Demonette left there, but anyway, the general killed 1 of my guys, and the Demonettes killed another 1 or 2, so it actually moved my Prophetess up to the front row. But because of combat res again, he lost wounds. I think he healed himself from 3 wounds to 2 wounds, then after combat res took another 2 wounds, so his general's sitting there on 1 wound. And on my turn, I'm going to get a charge. I'll have the Battle Standard Bearer, you know, so I'll be able to issue more challenges with the Grail Knights to keep him at bay. I really think we're close to popping that guy. Chaos Knights killed an Eagle. Now, if he charges into the flank here, he's going to do some damage, but I don't think it's going to take him a while to make these guys not steadfast. And they're going to be stubborn 8 rerollable. So I think I'll be okay regardless of what happens. So you see my Questy Knights finally moved out of that. it's turn 4 of the game. This says bad guy turn 4. I think it's supposed to be good guy turn 4. Whatever. So just an overview of the board. Overview. This is the middle going towards the left. And this is the far left. This is a chaos spawn. He spent 4 turns trying to get over here. Utterly wasted. So good guy turn 4. Really, the whole right flank belongs to us. So you see all of our guys coming over. Battle Standard Bearer's unit charges into his general. And we debated for a few minutes about what to do with the Lion Chariot. And at the end, we decided to go ahead and take him in there to the general, because if nothing else, it would give us an extra flank for combat res. And those impact hits will take place before the challenge. And so we might get lucky with D6 Strength 5 impact hits. We only need 1 wound, and that general is going to die. So again, and I'm not talking about magic spells going off because they rarely did. Magic spells just weren't happening in this game. So this is a view from the right towards the middle of the table. There's really the key of it. If we can get this guy gone, we have the whole army behind us coming over. He's really just got a couple units of demonettes and some smaller things. It's really it. And the Lion Chariot came in and with impact hits actually ended up doing 2 or 3 wounds to the general. So the general died before we even went to combat. Um, they conceded. I mean, they have those Chaos Knights that could charge the men at arms, but he's not going to break them. And on my turn, I'm going to get Questy Knights into his flank, maybe Knights Errant into his rear. I've got the Grail Relique, Sword Masters, White Lions. Everybody's coming up will be here within the next turn or two. And yeah, he's just not going to recover from that. Now, if you look at the board, this is the good guys sweeping over.